Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to this 100% walkthrough of Assassin's Creed. We are back, and you'll notice we're in the Assassin's Bureau because that's where it spawns us back in. But you'll notice as well, things are a bit different on the map, and that's because I've been having a bit of a think about how I want this 100% walkthrough to go. And I realised things like viewpoints and save the citizens in the cities, I don't really need to show all of those because they're already marked on the map. So if you are playing along at home, the game is going to show you exactly where to go for all of those. So I don't need to go into it on the videos. I will still be doing all the flags and the Templars and all the little side things for the actual assassination memories and things like that. But I think whenever I go to a new location, be it a new district or a new city, I'm just going to get the first viewpoint and any which might be on the way to where we're going, and the rest I'll do off camera, just because I think it's a bit of a waste of time. I've been through the mechanics of how the saving the citizens and the viewpoints work, so I just think to keep you guys entertained and to stop myself basically showing what is essentially the same thing over and over again with the viewpoints, let's be honest. I'll let you guys do that in your own time if you're playing along at home. You know what to do now. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comments below the videos. But yeah, by all means, let me know what you think of that idea. If you think that's a terrible idea, and that I should absolutely be doing all of the viewpoints and the saving the citizens on camera, then let me know. But that's the plan going forward, I think. Right, we're too close to begin the interrogation. I'm not actually sure if we can get in trouble for being in there, because there's a couple of guards watching this guy. But anyway, for this episode, what I want to do is crack on with... Okay, we're too far. For this episode, I want to do all of these side parts of the assassination.
And the poor man's life. But fate intended otherwise. Some say, were it not for Tamir, Salah ad-Din's men would have surely turned on him. Could be we won the battle because of that man.
Okay, so this is an interrogation. Now, you'll remember that from when we were in Masyaf and we were tracking down the traitor. This is the one where we follow someone to a discrete location and then beat them up to gain intel. So, in this episode, we're going to get all of the remaining intel on Tamir, our first target, and then we will carry on. Right, this guy's gone to somewhere quiet, and we're going to beat the crap out of him. Oops, or he's going to land a couple of punches on us as well. I've still not sort of got to grips with the counter system.
Tell me what he's planning. I know only the stories I tell, nothing more. A pity. There's no reason to let you live if you've nothing to offer in return. Wait! There is one thing. Continue. He is preoccupied as of late. He oversees the production of many weapons. What of it? They're meant for Salah ad-Din. This does not help me. Which means it does not help you. No, stop, listen! Not Salah ad-Din. They're for someone else. The crests these arms bear, they are different, unfamiliar. It seems Tamir supports another, but I know not who. Is that all? Yes. I've told you everything I know. Then it's time for you to rest.
Yeah, I mean, you have no control over that. But we found out that Tamir is overseeing the production of weapons for somebody. So that, again, is a key piece of information for us. So we've still got an eavesdropping, well, 2 eavesdroppings, and a pickpocket to do. Now, one thing I will mention, are these vigilante markers on the map that you can see here. You get these in exchange for saving the citizens, and what these are guys who basically will block the guards if you run past. So if the guards are in pursuit of you and you run past these groups of vigilantes, they'll actually grab hold of the guards and hold on to them for a bit, allowing you to try and get away. So it's definitely worth spending the time saving all the citizens. Number one, because it helps you get the 100%, but number two, it's another added bonus that you get for doing them. I can't remember if I covered that in the last episode. If I did, apologies. It's been probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 days since I recorded the last episode of this series, so I can't exactly remember what we did last time, but here we go, eavesdropping. Is there a bench nearby for us to sit on? Yeah, there is, right here. So let's see if we can eavesdrop on these guys from here.
So, how did you manage to do it?
Oh, it wasn't easy, my friend. No, not at all. Cursed merchant caught me trying to steal from him. Called for help.
I can't imagine the guards were pleased.
At least a dozen of them appeared. All well armed and spoiling for a fight.
What did you do?
I ran over, under, and through the crowd. Knocked over a few stalls for good measure. But they kept coming.
Then how did you escape?
With a little help from my friends.
What do you mean?
There's a couple of my brothers who gather around the southeastern exit of the souk. They let me pass and then turned their attention towards the guards. Kept them distracted while I got away. Without their help, I wouldn't be here right now.
So, the southeastern exit. We can find help. And those guys will hopefully preoccupy the guards and allow us to try and get away. So, more key information. So you can see, if we'd just done the 2 necessary parts of the investigation and moved straight on with the assassination mission, there's really key information that we would miss out on. Now, this is something that they took out in the later games. We didn't really have this in Assassin's Creed 2 even, so I think it's a pretty cool mechanic. I know a lot of people say that it gets a bit boring and repetitive after a while, but actually having little tactics you can use to try and help you out with the assassinations, I think makes sense, because if you're an assassin, you're going to try and use everything you can in your environment to help you pull off your mission, right? So, for me, I think it's a pretty cool thing, but I don't know. They obviously took it out. They haven't brought it back since, as far as I know, but I haven't played Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla yet, so maybe they've brought it back in one of those, I don't know. But we shall see. Right, so let's pickpocket this next guy.
Time before someone else discovers it. Tell him then, it's in his best interest to keep the souk secure. He won't meet with me. Too busy with this new deal of his. And the guards? Tried already. They won't lift a finger unless the order comes from him. Then what will you do? I'll go to Abu Nukud. The merchant king? He won't see you. He doesn't have to. I've written him a letter that explains the problem. He can read it and decide for himself.
Okay. So, once again, this guy's got a letter that we're going to need. Now, we're going to have to play this a little bit carefully, because there is a guard behind us. And we don't want this guard to see us do this, because if I remember correctly, if a guard sees us pickpocketing this guy, he's going to get hostile. So, now this guy shouldn't see us because we're using the blend feature, which is, I mean, pretty ridiculous given that we are standing right in clear sight of him, but whatever. So we'll get a bit closer. I'm a little bit worried that he's going to stop and turn around. Yeah, he is. And when he gets moving again, then we'll reach out. And then we go. Okay, we did it first time this time. So we've acquired a map of the souk showing the northeastern roofs easily connecting to the central courtyard. So again, another key thing. There's another Templar there. So we're going to leave that guy for now. We'll do a separate video for Templars and things. Which leaves us with just an eavesdropping over here to do to get our final piece of intel. So let's head over to there. We'll get our last piece of intel on Tamir. I'm not sure if that guy was talking to us there or that other person. Doesn't really matter. Alright, let's head this way. I think we're going to have to take to the roofs a little bit here. Right, up we go. And we'll drop down into here. Nothing to see here, people. Move along. I'm just a humble scholar. definitely not an assassin. Right, where is our bench? Where would it be? Hello. I don't think that was the person. It might be.
You can apologize for that.
Is it them? I think it might be, actually.
He's called another meeting. What is it this time? Another warning? Another execution?
No, he has work for us to do.
Which means we won't be paid. He's abandoned the ways of the Merchant Guild. Does as he pleases now.
He treats us as if we were his servants, and the guard does nothing to stop him.
Enough. We must go. If we're late, he'll be angry, and we'll suffer for it.
Perhaps one day, someone will have the courage to stand up to him.
Perhaps. But until that day arrives, we should do as told.
Okay, so Tamir is within the souk. So, we know there's an easy way in and out of there. We have a bit of a map of it. We know he's preoccupied with arms dealing. So we know where he is, what can be used against him, and a way in and out on things we can use to our advantage. So our investigation is now complete. So if we look at our memory log, you can see for this now we are complete. We've got all of these. These two here are an assassination and the knowledge memory. So we're going to have to do those. They're basically the story missions that tie in with the actual assassination. So what we're actually going to do is we're not going to do the assassination straight away, and I will explain why. In the next video, I'm going to go through and collect all of the flags in the poor district of Damascus, because I want to do that before I assassinate Tamir, because when we assassinate Tamir, once that memory is finished and we escape and go back to the Bureau, we're going to get kicked straight back to Masyaf, if I remember correctly. So to come back here to get the flags, we're going to have to come all the way back on the horse again. So I'm going to do that first, and then we will assassinate Tamir after we've got all of the flags in this district. So, with that being said, we'll end this video here. I know it's short, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click on that like button. It really does help the channel to grow, so I do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you're new, or just haven't already done so. And I'll see you all next time.